Josh from Midnight Auto Repair coming back to you with the S10. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this little pickup truck, I want you to go check out the videos I've done on this thing up in the left-hand corner here. But I'm bringing you guys in on this because not only is it a 1-year update of this thing, but I've never done a ride and drive on this. I kind of just finished it, got a whole bunch of stuff done, and then ensued to use it. I've been down in North Carolina now for a little over a year, and this has actually been my daily driver for the better part of the year. So I've gotten very acquainted with this thing. Now, if you guys remember, if you watched my build at all, I used a old boat motor, and the motor was locked up. It wasn't the outdrive, it wasn't any issue like that. The motor itself was locked up. So pulled the heads, we put I put new head gaskets and everything in it, but I had to beat on the pistons with a block of pine and a hammer to get this thing to spin around. And I've done nothing other than that. I have not taken the bottom end apart. Everything is still sealed the way the factory did it. And guess what? It's got a little blow by, but we'll get into that. But it's been a great truck. I'm going to bring you guys along, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so for those of you that have been following along on this, this is a 1983 Chevy S10. Don't let the grill fool you. I switched that out for a 91 to 93 front end on that because I just think it looks better. But 83 S10, when I found it was sitting in the warehouse where I was filming in Pennsylvania there at Jim's, and he had picked this up from a friend of his, and this thing had sat in a pole barn for 27 years before he picked it up. And he did a little work to it. I think, you know, he's the one who did the primer on it, and I just haven't had the heart to paint it because I like it like this. You know, if you make them too nice, guess what you're afraid to do? Drive it anywhere. So I like driving this, and I drive the heck out of it. But I just think it's funny that is the last Pennsylvania inspection on this thing. Which I think it's just cool, because she had a nice retirement, and then we decided to wake her up and pull her out of retirement, and I haven't cleaned this truck or anything at all. So I wanted you guys to see she gets used, and start looking at the back tires, abused just a little bit. But honestly, nothing really bad's happened to it. Just annoying things like I've got to take the left side pipe and hang it back up. The bed has just a little rot, and it was just enough to allow the hanger to drop out of it. But no, this thing is a fantastic little truck. In fact, it's still manual steering, manual brakes. I haven't upgraded any of that yet. And honestly, until it becomes a problem, I don't really intend to. It's such a cool driving truck, and it's unique to have that natural feel of no power steering or no power brakes. You feel everything and you just kind of roll with it. But I wanted to bring you guys along and I guess let you guys see and hear, because I haven't done anything with the interior. Now I will say I have kind of figured out that the Amazon seat covers, like these old saddle blanket seat covers, not the highest of quality. Like all the little bungees and stuff have popped off of it. Still driving around with a Hearst Pro-Matic 2 daily. And, I mean, it's a hot day out. I mean, it's got just a nice, mean idle to it. And those mufflers that I put on this, those are Amazon Flow Shines. So essentially they're Flowmaster FXs, but for I think quarter of the cost. And they've been good. They're stainless. They haven't blown out. Obviously, I haven't seen any scaly rust. What's funny, you can hear that boat cam. It's just got that nice lope to it. You know, you pull up, most people don't assume that this thing is a 305. They assume that it's a 350, or you've done a 327. Even had people ask me if it had a 283 in it, which at some point may come down the road, because, well, you know, 305 is good, but I'm wanting more power at this point. The other cool thing is Chrome and All of Erie actually did that custom Chevy bow tie for me. And guess what? It makes sense. On 4th of July, I would show that off. But guys, let's go for a ride. How's that sound? Stay tuned. All right, guys. So it's cozy in here, and I apologize for the wind noise, but it's supposed to be the better part of 100 degrees here in North Carolina today, so I gotta leave the windows down, or otherwise this video is gonna become a snuff film real quick. But no, still have the old slide dial radio in it, flat dash, and Hearst Pro Mag 2. So the S10 originally was going to be a project where this had a Isuzu 1.9 liter 4-cylinder in it, and it had a 4-speed manual. And I wanted to fix it because I kind of wanted that magic of what's it like to drive an early S10, because, you know, what I'm driving here, it's not exactly unique. There are a lot of people out there that do V8 swaps in these, and honestly, since I did mine, there's a reason for it. Because when I moved down here, I think I'll post the picture up in the lower corner, but when I moved down here, I actually towed a 6x12 U-Haul with this thing, and there's no way in ever loving heck that that thing would have ever towed that trailer with a 4-cylinder. So here we are. We've got just a little Marine 305 in this thing, and it's not the most potent motor. I mean, honestly, considering where this motor, this transmission, and even this truck started, none of this should ever have been together and work as well as it does. It doesn't have any right to. The carburetor came from my buddy Steve. That was out of his scrap pile. The transmission sat on Jim's barn floor for 25 years, and that came out of a 77 Caprice, so it's a turbo 200 metric, 3 speeds. And those transmissions had an infamous issue with reliability and lack thereof. So here we are. Transmission works fine. The shift kit that's in it's fantastic. And I mean, motor runs like a champ. Truck drives nice. I have no regrets on building this the way I did. Would it have been fun as a 4-cylinder? Yeah, for about 37.5 seconds. And I would have realized that 60 miles an hour being my top speed kind of would have been annoying. I'm pretty tolerant of slow vehicles, but it would have been annoying. Whereas this thing, I could be doing 45 miles an hour, roll into it, and it just becomes a darn good time with 4 barrels. And it's just, I know I keep gassing on about it, but I really am genuinely impressed that this thing has lasted the way it has. I haven't had to do any major repairs to it. I've had to put a belt on it and an alternator bracket because I got bending those, and they were slightly out of alignment, but that's neither here nor there. That was 30 bucks. Honestly, I've spent more in gas than I have in parts. And really, for what? You You know, I take this thing every week. I run trash every Saturday with it. I've towed trailers with it. Not anything big, of course, not like a car trailer or anything like that. But stuff that's big enough that if this were a 4-cylinder, it wouldn't work. Now, if you're going to do one of these, make sure that you definitely do the S10 swap, or the V8 swap S10 headers in this thing. It made life so much easier. Now, where I made my life complicated on this was I wanted an X-pipe exhaust, but I still wanted to retain the factory gas tank. So factory gas tank is still all in its natural location, but I ended up taking the exhaust, running a crossover from the driver's side to the passenger side. Both pipes run down, and then there's an X-pipe in there right before the mufflers. So, is it a proper X-pipe? No. Is it close enough for me? Yeah, I love the sound. It's just, that's one of those sounds that you can't not enjoy. You know, having the radio on in this, that's like a rainy day, you don't want to hear anything sound. And, I mean, what the heck? These things are built to have fun. You know, it's not a drag truck. Because if it was a drag truck, I would have pulled all the interior out of it. It would have had bucket seats, and it would have been a great race truck. But then again, I wouldn't have driven it every day. It would have been punishing. This seat, that's one that I actually recovered in one of these videos. It's just 2 seat foam bottoms glued together because one side was destroyed on one seat, one side was destroyed on the other seat. Well, you know, you make the best of a bad situation, and that's kind of what we did here. I built this whole truck for $1,500, and that was mostly just the swap parts. That was like little things I didn't have, like the Hearst Promatic 2. I spent $50 on that on Marketplace. The metal and the panel bond epoxy I used to fix the flooring areas and cover over where the shifter hole was. None of it's really perfect, but in that same respect, because none of it's really perfect, it makes you not afraid to drive it. It's not something that you only pull out on nice occasions, or, you know, oh my god, I don't want to put gravel in the bed of this thing. I've moved a yard of dirt with this thing. Not all at one time. I did it 2.5 yards at a time because it leveled it right out. But honestly, for what it is, I have no complaints. And just the sound. Alright guys, I had to hook up the battery pack. I love the film rate of this GoPro Hero 10, but for some reason, its ability to overheat is unmatched by anything I've ever seen in my life. But I'd pull over real quick and hook you to a battery pack. So, where were we? Oh, yeah. It's been a fantastic truck. And just, it's fun. I don't autocross it. Not really its intention. Mostly what I do is just kind of, I hate to say it, juvenile crap like this, where, you know, you just find a good piece of road and you see, it's more than happy just to spin that right rear tire. I told you I've used it just a little bit, but you almost have to. You almost have to lay into the floor barrels on a regular basis. It's a happy truck. It really is. And the thing is putting a V8 in it made it immensely more usable for what I do with it. Now, do I need a bigger truck? Yes, because I have vehicles coming up that I really need something to haul, and I hate asking friends for trailers and trucks and all this other stuff. It's just, you know, I like to be self-sufficient in what I do. So I may go truck shopping at some point, and not the kind of truck shopping you're thinking of. The truck shopping I do, yeah, I don't think it's going to involve a friendly salesman slithering up to me. So stay tuned for that, guys. On the next episode, I will be finishing the junkyard Corvair, getting that thing running. I have been handling a lot of business right now, and honestly, this weekend is supposed to just be absolutely rainy and crappy. So, guys, you know, we've returned back, and well, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. You know, did you love this video? Did you hate this video? Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. I mean, it's an S10, but this old girl's got a lot of character. She's still got plenty to give. You know, it's 2024. It's an 83. This truck is 1 year older than I am. And guess what? I hope to do this good at this, you know, at its age. You know, I hope to look this good, you know, 50 years, 60 years, because this truck does. Guys, this is Josh from Midnight Auto Repair coming back to you saying, have a wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.